Hello, everyone. This is Joel with KSN Property Management coming to you from our spacious virtual headquarters. This is one of our videos that we're doing on do-it-yourself landlord tips to help out all of the do-it-yourself landlords that are out there and hopefully help you to avoid making some of the mistakes that we have made over the years. This is part two of our video on the things that you need to do to get your property ready for occupancy. And as I mentioned in the first video, we're breaking this one up because it's such a long video and there's a lot to talk about. In this second half of the video, we're going to talk about your appliances, we're going to talk about your walls, and we're going to talk about some of the last things that you should do just prior to occupancy. So let's get started. Okay, next I want to talk about appliances. Okay, here's another area where you really need to look at your property through fresh eyes. In particular, take a good hard look at your appliances and see if they've got any rust building up on them. That's really going to be a turnoff to any potential tenants. If you've got appliances with a lot of rust on them, yeah, bite the bullet, go ahead and get them replaced. Refrigerators. Very important to thoroughly clean your refrigerator because on a refrigerator between the shelves and the bins and the drawers, there's just lots of little nooks and crannies where you're going to get crumbs and food gunk and 2-year-old salad dressing that's going to build up in there. All of that needs to be cleaned. One thing that I found that can be really helpful for cleaning some of those larger items in a refrigerator is to just take them out and actually take them to the bathroom and wash them in the bathtub because you'll have plenty of room there. Trying to wash some of those big things inside of your kitchen sink can be really difficult and awkward. For your oven, if you have a coil top oven, go ahead and replace the reflectors. You can go to Lowe's, Home Depot, and get a 4-pack of reflectors for not a whole lot of money, and now you've got pretty clean, brand new reflectors. A lot of stovetops are designed so that you can open that whole top panel up and get underneath and clean up all the stuff that's dripped down inside the reflectors over the years. You also want to look inside the oven. Make sure that there's no grease buildup. Make sure there's no burned food that's turned into carbon over the years. Get all that cleaned out. Make sure the oven racks are cleaned out. Check inside your microwave. You get a lot of food spatter inside of there. On your dishwasher, you can actually get a dishwasher cleaner. Get some of that. Run it through your dishwasher so that your dishwasher is clean. You also want to look at all of the door seals on all of your appliances, particularly the refrigerator, because the refrigerator door seals, they actually have a magnet inside on the front edge of the door seal to make sure that it gets a good seal against the refrigerator body to keep the cold air from leaking out. Well, over time, the stress of those magnets pulling off every time you open the refrigerator door is going to cause the rubber on the refrigerator door seals to start separating and peeling loose. And if you've got that, then you need to go ahead and replace those door seals. Now, one thing I want to talk about is your washer and dryer. A lot of times, owner occupants feel like they just don't want to deal with moving the washer and dryer and they just want to leave them behind for the tenants. We strongly recommend that you do not leave your washer and dryer behind. And there's a couple reasons for that. One of the main reasons is that oftentimes on a long-term rental, tenants already have their own washer and dryer, and they're really not thrilled about having to use someone else's. So if you have a conventional, separate washer and dryer, you really just need to go ahead and get rid of them. You can sell them. You can donate them. You can run them to the county landfill yourself, or you can even call one of the junk removal services if all else fails to have them removed. But we strongly recommend that you don't leave your washer and dryer behind. In addition to it being a matter of tenant preference, it's also, washer and dryers, those are another area where there's lots of little nooks and crannies that you're going to have to clean if you leave them behind. And they're also going to be just a couple of more things that you're going to have to maintain. You really can't leave things behind on an as-is basis. If you leave the washer and dryer behind, you're going to have to maintain them. So, like, these are all the reasons we recommend that you take them. The only time we would consider making an exception to that is if your laundry area is very space constrained, and the only thing that'll fit in there is like a washer dryer combo, or maybe even one of the new all-in-one units that do everything. Yeah, but in a space constrained situation like that, that's the only time that we would even consider leaving your washer dryer behind. Um, Generally recommend that you just take them. Next thing we want to talk about is your walls. Yeah, this is one area where, as I've mentioned several times, very important to look at your house with fresh eyes, because on your walls, this is definitely an area where stuff can build up over time and you just get used to it, but it will stand out like a sore thumb to your tenants. Over time, you're going to get smudges on your walls, scratches on your walls, handprints on your walls, especially around doorknobs, switches, stair rails, anywhere where someone's been having to operate window blinds. So take a good, hard, critical look at your walls. You might very well find that you need to just get a rag and a bucket with some kind of cleaning product in it and go around and wipe down all of your walls. Or you may even find that you really just need to bite the bullet and just repaint your walls. Yeah, that'll cost you some money, but like I said earlier, you don't want to step over $1 to pick up a nickel. Freshly painted walls can be a really big draw for a tenant. One thing in particular, you don't want to leave any holes behind. So if you've had, so if in the process of moving out, if you've taken down a TV or shelves or heavy pictures, speakers, anything like that, and you've left any kind of holes in the walls from the drywall fasteners or from a really large nail or screw, anything larger than a pinhole needs to be spackled and sanded, and then it needs to be painted. And one thing that's very important about painting is do not do touch-up painting. It can be very tempting because it looks like it's quick and cheap and easy. But I can promise you, if you do touch-up painting on the wall, it is going to show. It's going to stand out, especially in good light, and it's going to be ugly. If you do any painting at all in any areas where you've had to patch holes or any area that just needs painting, at a minimum, you need to paint that entire wall corner to corner. Do not just do spot painting. Now, the last thing that we want to talk about is some of the last things that you should do just prior to the tenants moving in. So some of the things that you want to do is, and these are things that you probably want to do the week before they move in. You want to get one last yard mowing in. Typically on a long-term rental, the tenants are going to be responsible for lawn care going forward, but you want to make sure that it's left in good condition for them. You also want to do one last pest spraying. And here again, tenants are going to be responsible for household pests going forward, but it's a good, very nice touch for you to do one last pest spraying prior to move in. You want to replace any filters, like you want to have a nice brand new air conditioning filter there. Maybe think about replacing your refrigerator filter if it has one. So just make sure they have nice new clean filters when they move in. And then of course, obviously one final point is replace any light bulbs that are burned out so that the tenants have all new light bulbs when they move in. Okay, and so that's it. That's the end of our final video on getting your house ready for occupancy. And again, we are KSN Property Management. And if there's ever anything that we can do for you, don't hesitate to reach out to us because we're not monsters. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe so that you'll get notifications of new videos.